Call this your 6-month glow up plan to become unrecognizable by December 31st.
First time in a long time, hurting deeply inside.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea. If you're new here today, it's gonna be a very special video. If you're new here and you like the vibes, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. We're on the road to 50K. We're almost at 25. And I'm so excited. It has been so long since I've actually sat down and did a video, you guys. It's probably been 3 weeks. And I know we are long overdue, but you know what? This video right here is gonna be so special. You're gonna achieve everything that you said that you were gonna do 6 months ago within the next 6 months. You can call this your 6-month glow up plan to become unrecognizable by December 31st. Just go ahead and get into the video. I don't like to chat too much at the beginning because I know you're here for a purpose. So I wanna make sure that we are just jumping right into it. I have about 4 different topics that we're gonna tap into in this video, and I'll make sure I put timestamps in the description box. So if you just wanna jump to one portion of the video, you can do so, but hopefully you decide to watch the whole thing. I'm more than confident that this will be a good one, and this is gonna be the video for you. I wanna start by saying it is time to reevaluate those goals, you guys. We are 6 months into the year. The year literally passed by. I literally woke up and it was May. So now we're approaching July, which is crazy to even say. Like, the months have literally gone by. Something is going on, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. It's time to reevaluate those goals and just see where we are lacking and what we can do better at the next 6 months, and even evaluate what didn't work and what did work. That's also important too. It's not just about what didn't happen, it's also about what did happen and how we can increase and also build some momentum with those goals that we already accomplished. Just build momentum on the things that we've already started. So I think that's a big thing. So I would say that's tip number 1, to reevaluate where you are, and also figure out what needs a little bit more gas. You know, what needs a little bit more gas, a little bit more effort. What didn't I do the last season? What do I need to do this next season? I feel like that's going to be a very important thing for myself. I would strongly encourage you guys to just take a step back and just to analyze your vision board and see if it still aligns with your current self, and see if it aligns with the things that you really desire, because sometimes over time things change, and sometimes you don't want the same thing that you wanted 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 months ago. So it's important to always reevaluate your goals to see if this is something that you truly still want, and if it's not, make adjustments. So that's why I do kind of like the idea of a digital vision board, because you're able to make quick adjustments. If something doesn't fit anymore, you can always switch it out. So that's one thing I would highly encourage you guys to do when it comes to really focusing in on your next 6 months and making the last 6 months the best months that you're going to have this year, and also let it be in alignment with your glow up plan. I would definitely say just reevaluate those goals and see if these are things that I still truly want, and if not, make adjustments where they are needed. And also, if there were habits that you were continuing the first 6 months of this year that you're not really proud of, or you feel like, hey, I can do some tweaking here, sit down, do some self-reflection, and figure out why did that habit even start, and how can I change it so that I won't continue this pattern. A lot of times we are creatures of habit, okay? We do the same things over and over again, even if we want to stop doing them or they don't really suit us anymore. Really take a step back and self-reflect and figure out what it is that you truly want and how you want to show up in this next season of your life, because this is truly going to be a season. You're still going to have your ups and downs, but just take some time to do some self-reflection and just reanalyze where you are, because we really want to reach our goals in this season. I know that's something that I'm personally trying to do. Before the month of July starts, I'm going to go back and look over my vision board to see if there's something that I really just don't resonate with. I'm going to make those changes because I don't want to continue things that just don't suit me. That's something that I'm really being intentional about, really figuring out what Chelsea really wants and show up as that. That would be my first tip when it comes to reanalyzing those goals and to get back in alignment with who you really said that you were to begin with. Tip number 2, I would have to say, is create a routine and a schedule for yourself. Consistency also takes discipline, because you cannot be consistent if you are not disciplined. And I talked about this in my last video about the importance of discipline things. It's the thing that you didn't want to do that you still did anyway. That's the discipline. And I feel like a lot of times when it comes to our goals, we're a little bit more lenient, or we're like, hey, I can get it done tomorrow. Whatever you feel that is like very important to you, make sure that you take the time to actually create a routine and actually a how are you going to do this thing, so that you can prepare to be that person. this is also going to provide you with structure so that you can actually accomplish the goals that you had already set at the beginning. It's not always going to be based on how you feel. You have to take your feelings out of it, especially when you have things that you want to accomplish within a certain amount of time. You have to really just say, hey, I'm just going to do this even if I don't feel like it, okay? And that's a note to myself, because we all have those moments. Again, we are human. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. I always say give yourself grace. Grace is important as well in this season. We want to make sure that we are actually showing up as the person that we said we wanted to be in January 1st. It's so important to make sure that you're showing up as the woman or the man that you wanted to be. Once you made that goal January 1st, make sure that you show up as that person, because they're going to meet you there December 31st, or they're going to leave you, okay? And you're going to be wondering like, wow, time has just passed and I have not done anything. And we don't want to do that, okay? It's time to take it up a notch. It's time to actually put in that work and to grind and do what you need to do. And I am the type of person, I like to work smarter, not harder. So if you can figure out ways to still reach your goals but not overwork yourself, that's important as well. The thing about life is, it's so important to have balance, create balance. You can't have too much of one thing and not enough of the other. You're always gonna feel like you're just in this limbo mode, versus when you're balanced, everything is working out just as it's supposed to. Not how you want them to, but just as it's meant to be. Speaking of discipline and consistency, in order to have discipline and consistency, you also have to be intentional. Be intentional about your goals. Be intentional about your desires. Really ask yourself, is this something that I really want? Because that's going to give you the intention. You're going to show up with intention in those spaces. Actually take the time out to write down what it is that you want and how you're planning on getting there. Now keep in mind, plans change. I can have my plan, but God has another plan, okay? And I'm always go with his plan. Let's say write down your desires, and if you are a Pinterest girly, Pinterest is going to be your best friend, okay? Find photos that really align with those desires so it can put it into your mind, you know, like, hey, this is actually attainable. If I see another human being with it, what's the difference between them and me? I'm just as human as they are, and they're just as human as I am. Different people are born into different circumstances, and some are more challenging than others. With that being said, we all have the same 24 hours, and that's something that I always have to realize. Like, my circumstances should not dictate my performance, you know? Although it may create a bit of a challenge, sometimes we really don't have the resources to do, you know, what we would like to do. Even if your goal is to start YouTube and you only have your phone, you have everything that you need. You don't need the latest camera. Really work with what you have and figure out how you can use that to your benefit, because I'm telling you, it's somebody else that had the same thing that you had and they made it happen. Somebody had the same thing that I had and they made it work, or if not less than I had, and they did. They're showing up and showing out. So why can't I do it? You know, they're just as human as I am. So keep that in mind. And also, when you're focusing on your goals in this new season, in this last 6 months of the year, don't focus so much on the timing. I know this video is about the last 6 months, but it is just a reminder for you that you can keep going and you can still accomplish your goals even if the first half didn't go exactly the way you wanted it to. Put less of an emphasis on the timing. Even if you're just starting to show up, even if you don't watch this video until September, you still have enough time to at least scratch off one thing that you wanted to do this year. And you don't have to scratch off all of your goals to be successful. Even if you're showing up November, okay, you can still accomplish something, at least one thing off your list, and still be confident and still feel accomplished. That's still an accomplishment to even try and make the effort. It's all about trying. It's not about the timing. It's not about how far you are or how fast you can get there. It's about just you showing up. With you being intentional and not focusing on timing, it's going to help you put more emphasis on your actual goal than the time it takes to get there. Because sometimes it does take, you know, 5 years to really get that thing that you wanted. Sometimes it takes 10. Sometimes it takes 6 months. Sometimes it takes a month for some people. But it just depends on you. So if you're focusing more on your goals versus the timing, it'll also make the process a lot more enjoyable. I know, even reflecting on my channel, I feel like I was focused on the wrong things. Like, now I'm moving with more of a purpose. I hope you guys are personally able to tell that I'm moving more with intention and purpose. I just want to focus on being purposeful and really providing community for my girls, because I know a lot of times a lot of people don't have community or don't have someone to watch and feel encouraged and feel uplifted after they watch a video. You know, that's what I want to provide to my community, and that's kind of how I'm moving forward on this platform, is really just being intentional when I show up. And I feel like if I would have focused on intention and purpose versus like, or just trying to make things that are trending or things like that, I would have been much farther. But I know that now. I say that to say, take the information that you know now when it comes to your goals and really apply that in your next season, because that's going to help you show up and show out. Focus on the action of doing what you said versus the timing, versus, you know, things not working according to your plan, you know. And that's something that I always try to emphasize, you guys. It's not about your plan. Things change, so also being willing to pivot in this season. So if something wasn't working for you the last 6 months, maybe it's time to pivot in a different direction. Like I said, personally, even on my journey, vlogs and things like that may not have been the best thing on my channel. I'm still incorporating that for my girls who love to watch my vlogs and things like that. I want to really make content that connects everyone together and just feel like a soft community vibe. That's really what I want here. So that's just a little insight on my personal journey and how I plan to like lead with intention moving forward, and really just being purposeful with what I'm trying to do. Let's try to figure out what your purpose is. And if you don't know that, maybe it's time to just do some self-reflection and figure out, why are you here? You know, it's a reason that you're here. It's a reason that you're present. It's a reason that you're in the space that you are right now, and figure out the why. That alone, you guys, will help all of your dreams come true. The last thing I have to say when it comes to being intentional is to commit. Commit to the things that you said that you wanted to do, okay? Just like you want that commitment from a partner, just like you want that commitment from your job, commitment from your friends and family, you want them to commit to loving you or just showing up for you. You gotta commit to your goals too. You know, you can't just say I want something and then that just be it. And then we never see you work on it again. Or you're never really putting in the action that it takes to really get what you said that you wanted. So it's time to actually commit. You can't even be disciplined if you don't commit to the actual idea of what you want. I know for sure that no matter how long it takes, because I've been on YouTube for a minute, y'all. If you didn't know, I've been making videos since 2017. But I feel like I was never committed seriously until the last 2-3 months. And that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because true enough, I could have been bigger, or I could have done more by now, but it takes that commitment to say, hey, I'm gonna show up regardless of what it looks like. I'm gonna show up regardless of who's watching. If 5 people are watching, or 5,000 are watching, or 500,000 are watching, I'm going to commit to showing up. I'm telling you, that's gonna help you even with your discipline, because that's gonna help you on those days that you don't feel like doing what you said you was gonna do. That's gonna help you push through even when you get those no's or those doors slamming in your face, y'all. It's gonna help you if you commit to the end goal and to commit to the purpose that you even said that you were going to do this to begin with. Whether even if it's a fitness journey, it's going to help you on those days when you didn't feel like going to the gym. It's going to help you on those days when you had a long night out and you still got to show up at 7 a.m. to work out. Commitment is going to help you reach that next level, and that's something that is more important. I feel like that's even more important to me now than discipline. Discipline is important too. They're both up there, but I feel like if I committed to my goal, that means no matter what else, no matter what the 3D is showing me, no matter what is falling apart, I'm still going to show up and at least try. And that's going to help me even like lean more into discipline. But if I'm not committed to the thing that I said I was going to do, I'm probably not going to really show up as I wanted to. But no, I'm committed to actually doing better and showing up and being, again, purposeful, and really just being that girl who I claim myself to be. Tip number 4 would definitely have to be release those limiting doubts. It's going to help you accomplish those goals, because if your mind is not in tune, or if your mind can't even fathom like, hey, I can make this amount in a month, or I can do this, I can travel here, or I can, you know, get my body to this point, or get my mind to this point. If you are stuck in the I can't do it phase, or if I don't know if I can do this, or I can't talk, it's going to hinder you so much when it comes to reaching your goals. There is so much power in our thoughts, you guys. There's so much power in the tongue. It's so much power in our thoughts. And I had to even be careful about saying, oh, I don't know if I can, or even just speaking that out loud, because saying those things out loud, first of all, it sounds crazy for you to even say that you can't do anything, because you can. Have you tried? You know, ask yourself, have I even tried to do this? You know, ask yourself, have I even tried to do this? Did I even really put myself out there to even do this? Don't feel like it's not worthy of you. Don't feel like you don't deserve it. Remove that from your vocabulary. Remove I don't deserve from your vocabulary. Even for me, for example, I got invited to YouTube Black. At the time, y'all, I had 10,000 subscribers. I think I had like 20 to 30K on Instagram and maybe less than that on TikTok. And I'm like, me? Like what? That was a imposter syndrome moment, because yes, you do deserve to be in those rooms. Even if you don't feel like it, it gives you the motivation to be around different people who are making moves in different spaces to help you understand you are on the right path. Even if you don't feel adequate in that moment, being in those spaces is just reassurance and confirmation for you that you are deserving of this opportunity. You are deserving to be in this room, and walk in there and act like you deserve to be there. Speaking life into your dreams is so important. So not only is it important to have people that speak life into your dreams, but you can have people encouraging you, telling you you do the best at this, you're doing great at this. But if you don't believe it, none of that matters. You can have people cheering you on all day, every day, but if you're not your biggest cheerleader, none of it's gonna matter. Because even when those people are long and gone, or even when those people have moved on in different phases of their life, guess what? One thing that's always gonna be constant and consistent is you. There's nobody else that's gonna be as constant and consistent as you are. So make sure that you are giving yourself that love, cheering yourself on, even if it's just you. And sometimes it is just gonna be you. It's important for you to instill in yourself like, hey, I'm confident, I'm doing good. Even when you don't feel like you're doing good, if somebody asks you how you're doing, I'm doing great. Don't speak anything negative over your life. Your mind tells your body what to do. If you're feeding that information to your mind, you're gonna feel tired. You're gonna feel like, I don't even feel like doing this. I don't feel like working. I don't feel like writing down my goals. I don't feel like being disciplined. But if you tell yourself, I'm doing great, even when you're feeling like you're not doing the best, or things could be better, things could always be better. You could always have more. But just keep in mind, please, you guys, do not speak anything negative over your life. Try to do that. Just take one day. One day, I'm not gonna say anything negative. If you are a negative person, or you're not the most optimistic girl, you may be a pessimistic type of person, try to speak only positively one day. Just one day out of the week. Don't say anything negative, even if things are going wrong. Try not to say anything negative, because there is so much power in the tongue. That being said, in order to move in the direction of your goals, you have to also take those actionable steps as well. So that comes with, like, if you can't take actionable steps, if you're so stuck in the fear and the doubt, what I really feel like stems doubt or brings up doubt is fear, because it's just fear of the unknown. I would love to know what's going to happen the next 5 months, 3 months, 6 months, tomorrow. That's not for me to know, you know. So make sure that you are releasing those limiting doubts so that you can take actionable steps. Because if you're doubting yourself and you can't even, you know, move forward, or you feel like you're so stuck or so unsure about everything, that lessens your confidence. Because I was there at one point. I was doubting myself so much. Is this the right thing to do? Is this the right thing to do? I am definitely that type of person that overthinks everything. So I have to literally shut my mind off. Like, nope, we're not gonna do this. No. We're not gonna pull up these scenarios. We're not gonna say, what if this happens? What if that happens? If you know in your gut that this is for you and this is the direction that you should take that actionable step, you guys. Take it. Don't delay. Don't wait, because delaying it only delays your progress. And you will wake up and it's literally December 31st. We're moving into January 1st, 2025, and you are like, wow, you know, I wasn't able to get anything done because I held myself back. Because a lot of times we're like, oh, this circumstance is holding me back, or I can't do this because of this. But sometimes, y'all, if life be lifing. And I'm not taking that away, because when I tell you I understand struggle, I understand pain, I understand it all, okay? I done been through it all, literally. I may not look like it, but I done been through it all. So when I say sometimes our own conversations that we have in our head holds us back so much more than the actual problem, that right there is a game changer. I kind of want to do a part 2, so let me know if you guys would like a part 2 from me, because I don't want to make this video too long. I really want it to be short, sweet, and effective. So let me know down in the comment section if you would like a part 2 to today's video. My final tip is just be the person you want to be. And that's just as simple as that. Be the person that you desire to be. If you want to be more patient, work on patience. If you want to be a lot more driven, figure out what you need to do to cultivate that. You know, figure out what it is that you may not be the strongest at, so that you can actually build up to becoming the person that you always desire to be. And it's just that simple. It is going to be difficult. You'll have days where you slip back into that old self, but you're really going to have to cut off the old you to become the new you. And I feel like that's the biggest thing, even for myself. I feel like that's something that I'm doing, especially leaning into going into this next season in July. Not only is it going to be the last 6 months of the year, but I'm going to be turning a different age. So I am cutting off the old me and stepping into a new version of myself, a version of myself that I never saw before, a version of myself that I probably didn't even know was possible for me. And that's exactly what I'm stepping into and leaning into that in this next season. So just be and show up as a person that you said that you were going to be. It's about having accountability. Just like you expect other people to show up for you and you want to hold them accountable if they do something wrong to you, it's also important for you to hold yourself accountable in this next season, so that you can really really, you know, be intentional and purposeful, but also show up and meet yourself December 31st, okay? So I feel like within 6 months, a lot of things can happen. That's exactly how you're gonna glow up and become unrecognizable by December. That's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was at least one thing that you were able to take away from this video. And if you were, don't forget, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're new here, it really does help my channel when you subscribe. And not only subscribe, please hit that like button, okay? And share this video if you did find the information that I shared today helpful, useful, and save it if it is something that you want to continue and just look back on whenever you may need those reminders. I love you guys so much, and I am just truly thankful and grateful for every single one of you all. We're moving at a fast rate at this point. I feel like it's fast for me because, like I said, I've been on YouTube for a minute, and this is really the first time I can actually say that I'm putting in work. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was such a good one for me. As you can see, I'm still excited about it, and I hope the same for you. So I love you all so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.